What we're doing here today is we're getting in touch with our inner child, which never grows up but has a lot to say. And that is editorial cartoons and connecting it to our feelings of creativity, of obsession with what is right and wrong in the world, and then expressing ourselves through our art.
It was an opportunity for the cartoonists to capture in real time our students' experiences. So there were conversations about homelessness, women's rights, foreign affairs, and whatever those ideologies were, the cartoonists were able to capture that in real time. So students were able to see how their passion was turning into a reality in front of their eyes, which is very interesting with our student population. A lot of times they have it conceptually, but because of maybe fear, they don't see that turn into a reality. So what better way to empower our students to see that award-winning cartoonists were able to embrace their story and for them to see in real time how that could come to art and turn that into action.
This is so great to talk to young people because, you know, they are the future and they have to be activated. It's the price is going to be too great to pay if they're the ones that can make the changes.
I think we're all here because we all won a Pulitzer Prize for cartooning, which, okay, so maybe since you know the most about what they're doing.
Yeah. Actually, I have a question for the students. How many of you know what an editorial cartoon is?
I would say editorial cartoon is more like, it's more commentary on society and more commentary on kind of like the topic of the day, for example, the politics and things like that and world events. We're via like cartoonists might have like messages or whatever, but it's more for like the comedy and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, the easy way to know what an editorial cartoon is, it's a visual commentary piece. So, you know, you read columns that people have opinions about politics or society. We just do it with images. So that's the difference.
The week that I did this, which was like, I don't know, a month ago, all these people were writing columns, looking at polls and finding that Hillary Clinton was not doing well with young women. And everybody was writing, gee, what is it about young women? Why don't they like Hillary? And, you know, totally like over psychoanalyzing it. Maybe she reminds them of their mother. You know, maybe they don't like her for the same reason that nobody likes her, which is she's shady and a corporate centrist with an off-putting stiffness and annoying sense of entitlement. I don't mean nobody likes her. I actually like her. This is how we are. That's how we treat our friends. It's excellent work.
You guys do character design?
Yes.
Okay, the difference between you and us, well, except for generic characters like this, those are designed by us from our heads, and but for the most part, we pray to God for our designs, because the politicians that we have to deal with, that's our characters, and God does a great job, because if you, for example, were to ask for a super sleazy, ultra right-wing religious nut, he would probably drop you Ted Cruz, because he looks the part perfectly, and ditto with you know, Donald Trump. You want somebody who is arrogant, foul-mouthed. I don't know what you think of Donald Trump, so I won't go into it. But Donald Trump looks like the part. And frequently, that's the luck that we have. These guys really do look the part. So when you design your characters, you know, take it somewhat from your head, but don't forget the characters walking around out there, because usually they're better than anything that you can think of.
If you want to make somebody in our profession, this is just speaking from my own personal experience, if you want to make it look like them, and yet at the same time you want to exaggerate and animate them and blow them way out of proportion, but still have them look like them, the key, I learned this through bad experience, is the eyes. The eyes are the key to the identification process for the people who are looking at your work. That's why when the FBI wants to put you in the Special Witness Protection Program, all they have to do is put a black strip over the photograph where your eyes are, and nobody knows who they are. Okay?
Actually, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
I think to capture the essence of a caricature is in the mouth.
I think eyes in the mouth.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, some people have features, but still, to get the essence of a person, you have to catch his expression.
All right, so I'm assuming all of you want to go and eventually work in the animation field. Is that correct? Right. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to do a little pitch here because you might have heard I went to California Institute of the Arts, which has a character animation program. I was there in the 80s, though, so we actually drew by hand. We didn't have any of this stuff. But I did learn the classical Disney style of animation. And then later on, I went into editorial cartooning. This is a really great time for you guys to think about possibly using your animation skills to become an editorial cartoonist, because now we're all online. You know, the newspapers are folding, print is just not that big a presence anymore. And I actually do animated editorial cartoons. I do animated GIFs, which you know you can do in Photoshop. You know you can do them on apps on your phone. And I do them for the Washington Post. And they're very successful. I mean, people like them. They're successful on social media. So now, just to let you know, if you want to become an editorial cartoonist, you do have to have a drive to do that. You know, you have to be interested in politics. You have to have, you know, a point of view. You have to be pretty strong in your views. But if that's something you enjoy, you know, if you want to say something through your animation, this is the time to really look into editorial cartooning, and I would encourage you to do that. Obviously, you can go work for Pixar and you can work for Disney and all that, but you know, if you really want to be groundbreaking on something, this is the time. We're all old. You guys can come in and start again. But it's an exciting time.
Well, I won the Pulitzer in 1993, and the way I was informed, this is back in the land that time forgot, I heard banging on the wall coming from a cubicle down the hallway, and one of my colleagues said, "You just won the Pulitzer." I go, "What?" And then I came back to New York City, to Columbia University, to pick up the prize, and our cabbie was an international driver from Central America, and my editor leans forward from the back seat and he says, "Did you know this young man just won the Pulitzer Prize?" And he goes, "He full of surprise?" And that's what I remember about the Pulitzer, but it's from our colleagues and it means a lot when we win it.